Hello everyone and welcome back to the end of our binge session for Faithful to the Traitors US Series 3.
Yes.
We are now live and caught up with the rest of the world.
Wow, America is the world.
Well, that's what Mr. President thinks. So I'm bowing down to Mr. President. I am Ben and I am a faithful.
Hello everyone, I'm Alex. I'm also a faithful. Hope you're all well. Yes, that's it. All 5 episodes that are now out and ready to watch, have been watched, have been reviewed, and have now, at the end of this episode, been podcasted by us here at Faithful HQ.
That's right.
That's right.
We've managed to comment on Sam's brilliant gameplay the whole way through.
Yes. His nonchalant gameplay, let's just say. He did pipe up today.
Yeah, he said one sentence and that's all that was needed.
He pointed a finger at someone at the round table, said, "If you're not dead, I'm coming for you."
Yeah.
And then he sat back and let his muscles do the rest. There was a shower scene for him as well.
He was having a shower, wasn't he?
He was. He was
away.
Soaped up, ready to go.
So there you go.
Ready for...
If he's not dead next episode, I'll be surprised.
Really? Sam's not done enough. What, do you think that direct threat was enough
Rob
for
gets
Sam?
upset when one person says something, doesn't he? So that's it. Be in his sights.
I know, but I think Rob has other problems on his mind at the moment because he's single-handedly kind of made friends and enemies with lots of different people at the same time.
Like I said last episode, I personally don't think he's playing a good game. Actually, the traitors, when I say the traitors, I of course do not include Carolyn in this. But the other 2 traitors are not doing well. Even though they're gamers and they're known for this, I feel that is actually a detriment to them.
Leave Carolyn alone.
No, I'm saying she's the only one, she's good. I'm saying the other 2
by default,
are not...
no, you're making out that Carolyn's only good by default because
no.
Danielle and Rob are so awful.
No, they're doing too much because they're gamers. They're thinking too strategically, so they're making loads of stupid mistakes everywhere. Carolyn is doing it right. She's just
floating
going
by
along and no one's suspecting her.
Why was she out of breath at the breakfast table, just out of interest?
Well, apparently she's like that every day. I don't know what she's doing.
Like the journey from, presumably, she said she's like you wearing high heels and going down the stairs and she was out of breath. And I thought to myself, well, what the hell? Like going upstairs, I'd understand, but you're going downstairs to get to the breakfast table. I don't really understand what causes.
She's consistent with her weirdness.
Catch her breath.
That's
I
why.
love Carolyn.
That's why. Yeah, same. She's my favorite traitor. The other 2, I think they're doing too much and they're too strategic.
It's a roller coaster of emotions for poor
They're
Danielle and Rob.
They're doing too much, and it's just there's so many mistakes everywhere, and they're not playing this game very well.
No. Well, we'll talk about that. But of course, because this is the last episode of the binge, now is your opportunity. Now is your time to get in touch with us because we will read out your comments on the next episode. You can email us, faithfultothetraitors@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube where you can comment underneath the video by searching Faithful to the Traitors podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Also, if you're listening to us on your favourite podcast app, don't forget to subscribe on that as well so you also don't miss any episodes going forth. You can find us on X at Traitors Podcast, on Instagram at Faithful to the Traitors. If you like the podcast, don't forget to share us with your friends, but also you can share your love and your wealth by going to buymeacoffee.com/faithful, where you can give us a little donation to help the show. And if you attach a comment to it, we guarantee we'll read out your comment on the next show after you've donated.
Yeah,
so
well, you help keep the studio lights on. So.
You do, which we need help at the moment because we're in the middle of a huge storm in the UK, and every now and then the electricity flickers a little bit. So again, if during the podcast, if you are watching this, something should happen, then please
we'll just carry on.
Carry on talking, and you'll just see the blank screen. So you might see a podcast with a blank screen. So that's exciting. That's something to stay watching for, isn't it?
So we began the episode with what we thought was going to be a big argument between the traitors, but it wasn't really much of an argument in the end. Danielle just kind of stared at him, and Caroline just wasn't listened to again, and just kind of trailed off with her thoughts.
I think it was
all a bit weird.
They didn't really know how to react to it, did they? Rob was adamant that he only came for Bob, the drag queen, because he came for him. Carolyn and Danielle both kind of said, well, he didn't really. He was just giving a sweeping statement. He didn't directly say your name,
He
but
said
Rob
U3 as well.
Yeah, but Rob kind of dismissed that. So then Carolyn, kept
I know, I keep saying Caroline.
moving, kept feeling dismissed. She also felt like it wasn't a betrayal based on what Bob the drag queen has said. It was more betrayal on egos. So because Rob saw Bob the drag queen as a threat to him and his ego and his alpha position, as we keep saying, then he decided that he needed to get rid of Bob early in the game. Again, upsetting Danielle, because Danielle, I think the whole theme that was threaded through this episode for Danielle was that she trusted Bob the drag queen to take her and him to the very end of the show. She lost that ally. She can't trust Carolyn. She can't trust Rob. So she needs to get rid of them too, so she can recruit a new person she can trust. In order to do that, she needs to start planting seeds within other people's minds about Caroline.
The annoying thing is that Carolyn could have trusted her, but she wasn't sure she was playing that good of a game, and then she saw Rob talking to her.
That was
privately,
the weird thing, because Rob and Carolyn did have a private conversation, and Rob basically said, like, I trust you, you trust me, we can trust each other. Carolyn didn't trust him and got more frightened by the fact that he had approached her for it. Then she had approached Danielle to discuss what Rob had said, and Danielle didn't really listen to Carolyn. She just immediately had her thoughts planted that Carolyn was also going against her, and so dismissed Carolyn as an ally in the future. So really, Danielle played a very, very bad starting hand in this episode, because there was a few mistakes that Danielle made throughout the episode.
Yes, there was.
And
that's what I'm saying. Carolyn, she called out Rob, saying that Bob didn't actually pull his name out. She was correct about the ego thing. She's playing the best game here.
I love Carolyn. I know I end every sentence with I love Carolyn, but I just adore her. When she's on screen, my eyes can't detract away from her. I'm always watching her. I'm always seeing what she's up to.
And the only person who's actually planted her name now is Danielle. So all the traitors, because one traitor's gone after, because Rob went after Bob the drag queen, it is just unraveled with distrust now. And then now it's just a mess. And all of Danielle and Rob have messed up their game, but Danielle's also, I think, potentially messed up Carolyn as well, which isn't Carolyn's fault.
No.
But these traitors are not doing...
The funny thing is that as much as Carolyn's name get put out by Danielle, and it is only Danielle who's putting her name out, no one's believing it. No one's really agreeing with it. And so Danielle's not really going for the right person. If she wanted to get rid of someone, there should have been Rob.
But it will mess up Carolyn's game when Danielle gets banished and she says, I'm a traitor. They'll then think, oh, she put Caroline's name to a few people, didn't she?
I mean, people do kind of link the two, but you have to remember that a traitor's job is to deceive as well. So Danielle might have been doing that because she had a particularly bad episode, because in the game she was making out that she didn't really need the shield. She was giving the shield out to other people, while everyone else was quite rightly taking the shield for themselves.
Rookie mistakes.
It was a silly mistake, and her reasonings was very odd as well. Like, I feel sorry for the housewife, so I'm going to save one of them. And to do that, she had to get rid of Derek on the framed walls. And then she won another question, and she said, "Oh no, sorry, Derek, I should have put you up there as well now." And then everyone instantly was like, "Danielle, clearly you know you're safe, so why are you doing this?" So I do think there's already an inkling in people's minds that Danielle is a traitor, and I just think that people will see the deflection that she's trying to cause is purely not because that other person, Carolyn, is a traitor, but because she's trying to get the heat off of herself. But as you say, Danielle's going for the wrong person. If she wants to reset the game, which clearly she does, then she needed to go for Rob first, and she needed to find the voices which agreed with her and carried with her, and that was Derek, Wes, and Ivor. You know, there's 3 people there already. Sam is also suspicious of him now. And
exactly. I think
even Dylan, actually. Dylan even said he's my best friend, but I still don't suspect it.
But Danielle says, like, she wants to get rid of these 2 traitors and then pick a traitor she can trust and take to the end. But to do it, she's going to have to betray 2 traitors. So, like, when she does then get another one, that person's not going to trust her. No. So she can't. It's not. But
she wants to. This is her plan. She wants a reset. She wants a whole reset where she can get rid of all the traitors that she started with and start again. I don't know who she'd choose. All I can think of is Derek. because they're both Big Brother alumni.
Or Brittany, her
Alumni,
rivalry.
sorry.
She has the rivalry with Brittany from the past, and they had a little moment together. So
I don't know. I
Maybe.
think Derek will be the one, because even Derek was surprised when he had his name taken off the wall initially for her to replace it with someone else.
even though he refused to give her a shield when she asked for one when he first came back into the game. So
True, but
it's all tit and
that was
tat.
early days, and perhaps time has passed. Water's gone under the bridge.
Series
Things-
105 for Big Brother. It wasn't that long
Well,
ago.
No, that's true.
Right, so we did actually have a murder.
We did.
Which Rob pushed forward.
It was between Sam, Robin, and Gabby, and as you say, Rob pushed.
Sam's muscles
Robin.
came through the door before he did. So he wasn't dead. And yeah, it
They
was
said
a
Sam
housewife.
wasn't smart, which I thought was a bit cruel. I think Sam knows exactly what he's doing, and that is just sitting there brooding.
Having
Sam's
lots of showers.
having lots of showers. He needs lots of showers from the musk that he's
From the hair gel. He's
Yeah.
second day of his hairband, isn't it?
pumping out from his pores.
Right, so we did lose a housewife, though.
And third,
What's your name and
housewife,
where do you come from?
Robin.
Dixon, 45, is a Real Housewife member. She made her debut in the franchise. This is spelt incorrect here.
Okay.
On the Independent.
No one can see it, but
No,
you
I
carry
know.
on.
Potomac edition of 2016. She then confirmed in April 2024 that she hadn't been invited back for the show's 8th season.
Oh my goodness! I bet that was a huge scandal.
Can the housewives move to a different place and just join that series or not?
I'm sure
Is
it's
that how it
happened.
works?
I don't know. I've never watched it, but I'm sure it can happen. The Housewives is a franchise within itself, isn't it? Hence why they have so many dotted about.
Never watched it, but I wonder if that's an option for her. Move to New York, become a New York housewife.
If someone approached you and said, Ben,
Yes.
would you like to be a Real Housewife of Glasgow?
No.
Would you say yes?
No.
I'd like to see that.
Would you?
Yeah, and then you can get a spot on
I
US
don't know what
Traitors.
storylines I'd have.
Well, you'd have me as a storyline. I could be your business daddy.
Robin.
I actually made myself sick by saying that.
Robin thanked viewers and fans at the time, saying, I quote, and again, this has nothing to do with Traitors US,
No.
so independent.co.uk don't know what's going on. She says, quote, I hope that I inspired you, the viewers, the fans, to live your life authentically.
On a reality show where everything is inauthentic. Yeah, I felt that way.
So that's all we know about Robin. I
Well
know
done,
nothing
Robin.
else about her, but I'm glad that she's got, well, I'm not glad. It was her and Dolores I was confused about because they look very similar. So one of them had to go and one of them did. So I'm
Bastards.
fine.
Robin wasn't a bad game player, actually, to
No,
be fair.
exactly. She was better than Dolores.
She got involved. She threw out names. Perhaps that was her undoing. I don't think it was. I think it was more the case that they feel like getting rid of the housewives is a bit chaotic. It feels like it's very aimed. It doesn't seem to be going towards people thinking it's Dolores doing it.
No.
It'd be very obvious if that was the case.
They're just easy fodder, really, because they don't really have any of this back history of being on the same series of something as everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a very female-heavy murder scene, though. Do you not think? In fact, I don't think there has been, other than Jeremy. I think there's not been one other than Jeremy. All the rest have been female murders. Well, Bob the drag queen, but there was a banishment. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, so it's a very female-heavy murder scene.
Oh, well.
This always happens. Okay, I got told off for
does.
saying this last
Well,
time.
it does, yeah, it
But it
happens all
does
the time.
always happen. It does always happen. The females tend to be the ones who go very early
Well,
on.
then they're banishing the men, so.
But they're banishing the men, so it's evening itself
it
out,
is.
so that's fine.
Apart from Nikki. R.I.P. Banished.
Well, we will talk about that in a moment. So, yeah, people talking of Nikki and Sierra, they are very much still in the front line of people's thoughts. But
The Bambi Club is still kind of together.
the Bambi Club is slowly falling apart, though, because there's been accusations within the Bambi Club because Chriselle, who's very good friends with Nikki,
Yeah.
kind of spotted a facial expression by Nikki when Rob lied and said that Bob the Drag Queen had mentioned Nikki's name before the last roundtable. And that's why Rob is suspicious that Nikki is a traitor, because traitor on traitor hate for one another. And when he said this in front of Nikki, and Nikki kind of went, oh, that's weird. And Chriselle saw that as a bit of a misleading and a misguided facial expression. Fair enough.
Yeah,
People have been gone for lesser.
Yeah, I don't think it was particularly odd reaction from her. I don't really know where she picked that up from.
It was a weird reaction. She kind of reacted very negatively about it instead of just kind of going, oh, okay, or being like, oh, that's strange. She physically put on this facial expression.
She probably wasn't expecting it because it was a lie, and two,
well, that's true.
She's not a traitor, so it was all a bit weird.
That is true, but unfortunately, that's obviously Chriselle is her friend. Chriselle confided in Rob about that reaction that she spotted in the car, and at the round table later, Chriselle gave it a very emotional. It was quite sweet, really, in a weird way. It was like stabbing your friend in the back way, but done in a very kind and courteous way, very sweet way. She said that she felt there's been an energy shift in Nikki as well. She's noticed this shift in energy. She believes in auras.
Yeah, she was wrong.
Because auras is bullshit, but
that's not that good at
it. That's neither here nor there. There's no such thing as an energy. But I think what she meant to say was that she felt that Nikki was there with kind of like confidence, and then after Bob the Drag Queen died, she was down there with confidence, and that to her felt like she had betrayed her friend. Nikki had betrayed her friend Bob the Drag Queen.
Gabby said to Nikki by the fireplace, "I won't ever vote for you. Don't worry." Then voted for her as well at the banish table. So.
To be honest, though, to be fair,
she had to.
She had to.
And there was also a weird comment by Sierra as well about Nikki about talking about aura shifts, where she was like, "Well, you've changed. You used to laugh, and now you don't laugh." And it's like, Sierra literally hasn't moved her face once.
No. Can she move her face?
I don't know.
Allegedly, maybe not. But
they can all cry. They all have Botox crying face. Have you seen that on TikTok? Botox crying face, where it looks like they're laughing, but they're crying.
Yeah, and they tab like a corner of a tissue in the corner of their eye because, God forbid, a slight tear should go down their faces.
But Sierra's not exactly the bundle of joy.
No, I agree with you. I don't know why Sierra can accuse someone of something that she's quite miserable. Like, she clearly doesn't want to be there. No. She's there for the pay packet.
Like, even during the challenge, she was just sat in the church, and she looked zoned, like she wasn't paying attention.
No one really joined in that game though. Really, there was the same 4 people that kept playing it: Derek, Tom, Danielle, and Bob.
Bob went out first time.
But Bob went out first time, and then didn't Brittany have a go, or Gabby have a go at one as well?
Maybe.
I forget.
Someone did. Tom went out as well because he got one.
No, wrong. Sierra, my bad. Oh, there we go. We're saying horrible things. Sierra got the shield, so she played the last one. Quite rightly, people. That was the answer to the clue. She quite rightly, it was pointed out that really playing early on in the game doesn't really reflect well with you trying to get the shield, but forgetting that you are obviously on trying to make money as well, so you need someone to keep pumping the money in. The money has been pumping in. The prize fund is now $70,000 US.
Lovely
Ka-ching,
so,
a nice little amount pre-tax. Split that in half, and that'll be your prize.
So we're halfway through the series as well, episode 5, because I think there's only 10 in this series.
Really? What a short series. God, there's still loads left. There must be getting a max exodus at some point.
Triple murder. Oof. Double homicide.
That'd be fun. So
there was also another odd bit, because Ivor was talking about Wes's theory around the breakfast table. I can't remember who he said it to. Caroline was in the middle, and he was saying it to... Was it Derek or Dylan? One of them, but he was saying, basically Wes was saying, how do you 100% know someone's a traitor? The only way is if you're a traitor.
He said it to Tom.
Was it Tom he said it to?
He said it to
Caroline
Tom.
Was in the middle just looking like her weird looks that she does, which we love. And then
Ivor went for a walk.
Yeah, this is what the weird thing was. He went then straight to Rob and then said it to him. And it's like, well, why have you done this? Because he was like, oh, I believe you're a faithful, so it's your chance to tell me. But like... That was a really stupid move. So then Rob then got up and was like, well, I'm going to ask Wes. Yeah,
and Wes lied and said, no, I never said that.
Which was stupid, because then it nearly came up at the round table that episode. Yeah. And it's like, well, this is what I mean. It's a big mess, this game, with the gamers, in quotes, because all of them are trying to do too much gameplay. Which is why they keep getting tangled up in all these weird...
Because they're forgetting what their lies they've said beforehand, so they're tying themselves up in knots. The
Traitors is just be kind of a bit normal and just carry on, Because even Danielle at the mission, she, like you say, she did that weird thing where she was not giving herself a shield and giving it to someone else, and then she stood up there and had to try to act like she did want the shield. And it's just like,
because they're
doing too much.
They're thinking of their reality show, Big Brother and Survivor, where you need to make friends and influence people. Where in Traitors, of course, you can make friends, you can influence people, but actually, what you're looking out for are traitors. So
people acting a bit odd and not normal,
which is why you can't put down what Chriselle had done, because Chriselle actually did go for someone who she considered her friend.
Or a shift.
But she said she saw a shift. She
what I mean.
believed in herself that she thought that had happened, and so she went for Nikki. So I think it was perfectly fair what Chriselle did. Wes, in this game, to be a game player in this game, I think you actually need to have convictions in what you say. So if Wes said that, he should have looked him square in the face and said, yes, now tell me why I'm wrong. Also, and get the information.
Yeah, and if he did say the truth to Rob, he wouldn't then be able to murder him because it would look suspicious.
Yeah,
so like,
of course.
I think this is the best theory we have, though. This is what you need to do.
They think we're dumb, and we're so smart.
Yes.
Think you're dumb, but you're actually smart.
So smart.
Carolyn.
She's lovely,
the
Carolyn.
Queen.
I love her.
Exactly.
Have I mentioned I love Carolyn? But yes, so this, we've always said, we said this in the past, we've said this before. You can't come into this game with the mentality that it is Big Brother or Survivor. It's not. It's a different show. It's not about being there in the end because of a popularity contest. It's being there in the end because you were able to figure out the puzzles and the clues. It's a puzzle game. So
I think that's why people like Dylan and like Biggest Loser Bob and Sam may do well, because they're kind of just being themselves. And same as like Dolores, I guess, as well, in a way. Like they're playing the traitors. They're not playing Big Brother Survivor Challenge and God knows what
but
else.
also they're not putting on a character, they're not putting on a facade or a mask. Like Bob the Drag Queen, as much as we liked him and he was a great traitor, he was constantly playing up for camera, and unfortunately that's what actually ended up getting him in trouble, because he played up for camera with that one line of, oh, well, it must be one of the newbies. That offended Rob then knocked him out. So you need to be your true authentic self, be honest with people. If you come up with a theory, have the conviction to stick by it and go forward with it. And and have the humility of confessing that if maybe you said something and you perhaps have put yourself off course. And I agree with you. I think actually Bob H is doing a really good job. Actually, I think he's playing a good job. I think Dylan's actually playing a good game, because although he's proper like love our eyes for Rob, he is still watching from the outside in. And as much as we joke about Sam saying very little, in today's episode you actually saw that actually he has been calculating a few things in his mind, and he's
how many sit-ups to do tonight.
Yes, how many sit-ups, how many times to shower,
yes,
how much in soap to put in his hand.
Is it shampoo and condition day today?
Yeah, does he need to put more grease in his hair to make it look that wet? That kind of stuff.
Also, is Rob a traitor?
Exactly, because both Dylan, Rob and Bob at the round table all said that Rob was a traitor at the table. Sorry, Dylan, Tom and Rob, I was meant to say there. So Bob said that he's been watching Rob in his career, his whole life, and he's playing devil's advocate, but he's the kind of player who would go straight into a game and disrupt it by killing a traitor if he was a traitor, which is exactly what he did. Bob was completely spot on, and Dylan's got his doubts. And again, Sam said, if you're not murdered tonight, then I'm directly looking at you, Rob. And obviously Rob can't murder himself, so that also puts a target on him in that way as well.
And Wes is also suspicious of him. And possibly either could be swayed.
Derek,
yeah. So Danielle's plan to get rid of Caroline first and then Rob, I think, is a bit stupid. Like, there's more numbers to get rid of Rob, and he's way more dangerous. So if you cross him,
it's funny because I think that Danielle doesn't see Carolyn as a particularly strong player when she's made a mistake. Carolyn's a very good player.
And Danielle's made loads of mistakes,
and Danielle's made more mistakes than her. So actually, she should look at a mirror and look at herself before she starts judging others.
Yes.
On the point of Ivor, quickly, I would say that I think the reason why he brought up what Wes had said to Rob is because I think he believed that was a deflection from him. So,
From Wes.
well, no, just from the group, because I think last episode Ivor was starting to get votes. People were starting to suspect Ivor, and I believe if I was in Ivor's brain at that moment, that he was thinking that, oh, hang on, this is a tidbit of information. If I can throw that into the group and make people sway, that takes it away from me and takes some heat away from me. Because really, Ivor quite cleverly didn't say it was him who said it, because it wasn't, obviously, but it was Wes. So he's not saying he's accusing him, he's saying that Wes is accusing him, but in the back of his mind, Ivor's also accusing him. So clever play, to be fair, by Ivor. 10 out of 10.
It wasn't Rob's turn to go, though, because it was a pretty much unanimous vote this episode.
I haven't had one of these in a long time.
It was basically Sierra versus Nikki, which we thought it was going to be.
Well, not really. It was Nikki versus herself.
Well, yeah, in the end.
It ended up being...
Because the Bambis
went for each other.
Killed Bambi.
They did.
No, there's only
Bambi's
two.
mother, we should say,
Yes.
like at the beginning of the film. Bambi's still alive. We need a thumper at some point in the game. So yeah, Nikki got
Dylan
40.
looks like Thumper. Or Sam. He could play Thumper on stage. His acting career needs to take off.
He's got to play Danny Zuko in Grease first.
that's
Let him
true,
cut his
that's
teeth
true.
on the stage with Grease, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, Nikki got 14 votes. Gabby got 1 vote, strangely from Dylan. So this is a weird one. So Dylan basically voted for Gabby by saying that he was sick of people pointing the finger at Nikki and Sierra because neither of them are traitors. Could be something a traitor would say, arguably. But at the same time, it was weird that he bucked the trend and went for Gabby, because really, where did Gabby come from? Gabby's name wasn't even mentioned in passing anywhere.
Bit of an odd one for him, but maybe he thinks one of that group is a traitor and he didn't believe it was Nikki. So and Chriselle was crying. So
Do you think it was a wasted vote? He did it. He deliberately wasted his vote as a protest. He went into the voting booth and put a big cross through the whole thing and then threw it into the box.
yeah, because he didn't think Sierra either, so there wasn't really much else he could do. But it was a bit odd, Gabby. But maybe he just thought it was an easy thing that won't really bring much heat to him. But there was afterwards, because we need to say Nikki went, didn't she?
We did.
She's
Nikki
a
went.
faithful.
She's a
go back to
faithful.
her kids, she said, so she's fine.
She's going back to her kids, and people should play this game. Don't judge people and expect people to play the game how you expect to play it. I thought that was a nice little sentence, nice little nugget for a quote from Nikki. So 10 out of 10, Nikki.
I like that.
What's your name and where do you come from?
Nikki.
Are you ready for this? This is very long. This is from Independent.
It's one sentence.
That's the joke.
Oh, okay.
Nikki, 41, is a well-known former WWE wrestler who performed in the ring from 2007 to 2022 under the name of Nikki Bella
Under the name of Nikki.
from the Traitors.
Yeah.
She competed alongside her twin sister Brie as the Bella Twins.
Ah,
Do you
there you go.
recognise those names? Do you?
I recognise the name the Bella Twins.
There you
I'll be
go.
honest, I never watched WWE in that. Well, I may have said this in the past, but I was a Attitude Era kid. Slow. I tipped my toe in the aggression, the ruthless aggression era.
She was in a relationship with John Cena for a long time.
It's John Cena. I knew it was one of them.
What?
One of the wrestlers she was in a relationship
Oh,
with.
did you? Oh.
Yeah, John Cena.
there
John
you
Cena.
go.
I said it's. I can't remember his name. Remember, because that's when I brought up.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
people's names. John Cena. John Cena sucks. I know that. John Cena sucks.
There you go. Poor Nikki
I'm so
was
cool.
Poor Nikki was gone, but Sierra possibly, maybe next, because she's the last of the Coffin trio, so she's still on people's
Sierra,
lists.
yeah.
But
So
I
she's-
wouldn't. I don't know what Summer House is.
Is that important?
That's what. I just don't. I don't get Sierra. I don't get her yet. I don't know if I like her or dislike her. I don't know. I'm really unconvinced by her.
She's
She's getting not much. I don't know.
She's a difficult character to defrost, let's just say. She's very guarded. She doesn't seem to be kind of getting herself in the group very often,
No.
and occasionally says bits and pieces, but she's also not easy on the eye like Sam. So,
Well, she's not your type.
but
so.
also she's not my type. So,
I think Tom's better than Sam. I saw something about Tom. I don't know what it is. The craziness. I'm not sure.
the love child of who was it? David from
Schitt's Creek
and Rob
Tom,
Lowe.
Rob Lowe, yeah, Tom Lowe.
Tom Lowe. Tom Lowe. Maybe his name's Tom Lowe. Then
And Brittany's also been quite quiet. Like Danielle and her had a little conversation in the kitchen where they kind of tried to forge their friendship again. Well, that's when she mentioned. Who did she mention to Brittany? Was it Carolyn?
I don't remember.
What she said. She said something to her.
Who, Danielle?
Yeah,
it was
Danielle said
Carolyn,
it to
because
Brittany, didn't
Danielle
she?
was going on the Carolyn,
Yeah.
and
And then
name
after the
force.
banishment, Dylan told Carolyn, someone's been putting your name out. I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Oh, yes.
Because I'm really friendly with her. But it was Danielle.
Yeah. It's like, oh, for goodness
And it was
sake.
like, right, well, here we go.
Yeah.
So the traitors, all it takes is one Rob going after Bob the Drag Queen, which has spiraled this into
Chaos.
Rob. I don't believe Rob is faithful to any of the traitors. He's just saying he is. Danielle says that she wants Rob out, but she also wants Carolyn out.
She wants both of them out, eh?
Yeah, Carolyn was faithful to Danielle, didn't trust Rob, but now she knows that Danielle's said her name. She's now obviously... It's a very messy triangle.
This is where the game starts to unravel, really, because really the traitors need to be a strong alliance until the end. Obviously, sometimes then it starts to become traitor versus traitor, and that makes some sense. But
Exactly.
up at the beginning, you need to be this strong alliance.
And this is what it boils down to, them having a go at Rob, saying it's too early to go after Bob.
Yes,
Episode 4
yes.
was too early.
But they're meant to be causing chaos toward the faithful, and actually, the chaos is actually inhabited in the traitors' conclave because they're having battles with one another.
Arguments each time. They can't even agree on who to murder each night.
No. Well, poor old Carolyn doesn't have a voice in the matter. I would love it to be that Danielle and Rob both end up done, and then
Same.
Carolyn's like this
That'd be
lone
funny.
traitor.
I'd like that.
And I wonder who she'd bring on board then. It
Tom.
would be fun.
I said I wanted Carolyn and Tom.
Oh yeah, maybe.
See, that would just be insane. No one would know what's going on.
But poor old Dylan. After he said it, you could tell he felt a little bit like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, because you know you see it, you do it yourself. Like you say something, and then you're nervous that they're going to then talk to other people about it. So you kind of hang around to wait to see if they like pop,
Carolyn was
mention it
basically
to someone else.
shouting out the kitchen. No, tell her. I'll take her to bring it to the round table. It'd be fine to do it. And he
Yes.
was like, no.
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
She was
Oh.
enjoying her British cereal she was eating. So I think it was Fruit Loops.
You can't get Fruit Loops in the UK.
What
so
are
it
the
wouldn't be
hoops? Honey Loops?
Honey Nut Loops.
I think it was them. She was
Cheerios.
scoffing
Could be any
down.
of them. She dropped one. One fell out of her mouth while she was eating. That cracked me up. I love Carolyn. Have I mentioned I love Carolyn?
I love how
bloody
Bob,
do.
Bob from Biggest Loser. I don't need to do that anymore because other Bob's dead.
Bob Harper.
Bob just has a running commentary on her, like
I know,
her
he's-
looks, her attitude, her what she's doing in the mornings. He's obsessed.
I think Bob's like me. Like he just cannot stop thinking about
He
Carolyn.
clearly watches a lot of reality shows because he followed Rob's career. He's obviously chronically online and watching all these shows. So
Oh.
he's just saying it's like a fan convention for him.
That's true. They should
He's
do a
just having-
traitors
He's just having
convention.
fun, isn't he?
If anyone out there
Meeting all his heroes.
Well, if anyone out there is planning to make a traitors convention, then you can invite us as guests. We'll be more than happy to come along for a minimal fee. By
for
the
a
way,
coffee.
yeah, well, that is really okay. If you pay for the flights and or any other travel and expenses, we probably just do it for that. To be fair,
You're signing your casts with the cast of the US Traitor Series 3. Who do you want to be positioned in between either side of you? When you're all signing your cast and people lining up to meet you all at the
oh,
convention.
what if people coming to? Well, first of all,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have a queue because people would be
Yeah, well,
more interested in what other people
Who
do.
are you sitting yourself
Well,
in
obviously
between?
Sam to my left,
Right.
and then Wes to my right.
Not Caroline.
It's like a rose between two sexy thorns.
Not Dylan.
Oh, and Carolyn.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
Difficult,
I mean,
isn't it?
let's just if I had to pick people who I'd want to be in the same room with, then it would be Carolyn, Wes, Sam, Tom, Bob Harper, Dylan, Bob the Drag Queen. I quite like Nikki actually near the end.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
you're sitting next to a lot of people.
Yes,
The popular table.
we're the popular table.
So the episode ended again for the second time in a row where we don't know who's up for murder because the traitors are too busy arguing with each other. So we're going to have the reveal of Carolyn knowing that Danielle's put her name out there. Is the
Yes.
big cliffhanger.
Yes. Well, and also just the battle, as you say, between the three of them. They showed a preview clip, and we didn't really watch it, but we kind of clipped like the first 5 seconds of it, and it looks like that there's going to be an argument in.
Yeah, Rob's in the middle, which is good for once. So there you go.
It's so annoying that Danielle did that.
It was unnecessary.
It was unnecessary because really that plays into Rob's hand more, because now Rob can just play them two off each other, let them
That's
knock
what
each
I mean
other
when
out.
I say Rob
So
and
dumb.
Danielle, they're doing too many things. They're doing too much. Too much, and it's not going to work, and it's not going to end
Well, no. Right, so there we go. That was it. That's episode 5. Got a few more to go, and we'd love to know what your thoughts and theories are about the American Traitors this year. faithfultothetraitors@gmail.com if you want to send us a long form email. You can find us on YouTube by searching Faithful to the Traitors podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment underneath the video. Comment underneath whether you believe that Sam is the secret weapon within the faithful.
No comment.
You can go to X Traitors Podcast. You can go to Instagram at Faithful to the Traitors. You can also go to any of your favorite podcast apps and subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends. Give us 5 stars if you like listening or watching the podcast. And if you want to help us go monetarily, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/faithful, where if you put a comment attached to the gold bar, silver coin, whatever the currency is on this version of the Traitors, you will automatically have your comment read out by this beautiful English voice.
Yes. Well, there you go then. So, for the first time until next week, stay faithful.